We got 15 of the most upvoted, updated stories for the month of October. If you're new here, my name is Sarby. I've made over 180 reading Reddit videos for you guys that I record live with my audience on Twitch so that you guys can read and react to the stories with me. This series on my channel highlights the 15 most upvoted stories in a certain subreddit, this one being r/best of Redditor updates. As well as for this particular subreddit, the stories are super long. Videos tend to be anywhere between 3 to 4 hours, so I split them up between part 1 and part 2. It's just a more manageable way for me and my editor to come out with videos for you guys like this. So we got stories 15 through 8 in this video, and then another video coming out on Monday with stories 7 through 1. As always, guys, juicy stories today. Starting it off with went for a tire change, found a tracker under my car, placed by my roommate. How do I go about this? But of course, stick around for 7 more absolutely insane Reddit stories, such as my boyfriend deleted my dead brother from my Instagram friends, and he doesn't seem to understand or care that I'm upset. This one was evil. Just straight evil. And finally, the story we're gonna be ending the video on. I'm moving out tomorrow. Husband doesn't know I found out that he's having an affair, and this update is coming in 3 years later. As always, everything's timestamped below. There's only one repeat story in this, so feel free to skip around as you see fit, or you can just listen to the story again. But y'all know the drill. Let's lock in here and read some Reddit. I had sex with a 17-year-old. He told me he was 19. He took a video of us having sex without my consent and is threatening to share it. What can I do? OP is a 23 female from Texas, originally posted to r/legal advice on April 6, 2020. We met on Tinder in December and started seeing each other in January. We've slept together a handful of times. I decided it would be best to stop seeing each other around the start of last month when they started telling people to stay away from each other. Right off the rip, if his Tinder still exists, get screenshots ASAP, because I think the biggest part in this is like a he said she said situation. So like, if you can have evidence that bro was on Tinder lying about his age, that is at least something that supports your he said she said. At first he was really understanding, but over the past couple weeks he's been pushing to see me more. I kept trying to make plans to see him once everything has calmed down, but he's been insisting on coming over to my place despite everything. Yesterday, I finally put my foot down and let him know we wouldn't be meeting now or later, since I didn't like how pushy he was being. He called me and we got into it because I wouldn't let him come over. Once we hung up, he snapped me a video of us having sex in his fucking car. I don't even know when he took it. It's dark, so you can't really see me, but it's clearly my voice. On the video, he wrote that I would either let him come over or he'd send the video to my boss and tell his mom because he's 17. This is also physical evidence. How does that work though? If it's evidence, how does that work with like screenshotting and recording if he's a minor? Because like obviously you want to document this, but like he's 17, so would that count as CP? I told him I was out of town because my sister had her baby, which is true, but he could come over when I got back. I was afraid if I told him no straight up that he'd send the video. I did not know he was 17. I never would have slept with him. I have screenshots of his Tinder profile where his age is clearly listed at 19. Okay, that's good. I don't have a Facebook, so we were never friends on there, but I do have his Insta and Snapchat, and nothing on those indicates he's 17. I keep thinking back over all of our interactions, but even in text messages, he doesn't say anything to indicate he was in high school. He told me he went to a local community college. He talks about college classes and getting off of his job at HEB. Anyway, it's not like we had long conversations. Our relationship consisted of having sex and maybe getting dinner beforehand. Please help me. I've been freaking out about this for several hours. I work with kids right now, and I'm at school to be a school social worker. I can't have this on my record. I know I should probably go to the cops, but how can I do that and make sure nothing comes out of this? Bro, that's fucking terrifying, man. I do have his Insta and Snapchat, and nothing on those indicates he's 17. That's crazy to me, bro. How do you, I mean, I guess maybe you can just be like a non-poster, but for as long as you were seeing him, like, bro must have been fucking really doing his shit, man. Razzle Dazzle said, look this up. Age of consent in Texas is 17, but still have that profile and stuff to prove he lied to you prior. It's still blackmail, and if leaked, can lead into the revenge porn area. Why are you on Reddit? Get a lawyer ASAP. I think that's the first answer. Is like, no matter what people are saying in the comments, go consult a lawyer right fucking now. And maybe wait to screen record him threatening you. But like, I think there needs to be some level of like, consult a lawyer. If lawyer says, okay, document the fact that he's blackmailing you with a video that he took of you guys. If what Razzle Dazzle said is true, you technically didn't do anything wrong, and he's the only one doing stuff wrong here. Although, how does it work with CP? If he sent a video of him underage to you and you now own the possession of it, like, does that put any legality issues on you? Does the age of consent in Texas being 17, does that follow with like CP? I feel like this is so complex. Like, you kind of have to do some workarounds here. They need to contact a lawyer immediately, despite the fact that there's evidence of them lying. They expect you to look at an ID no matter what. Okay, y'all, I've never talked about this because, like, honestly, it's something that like scares the hell out of me, but I'll talk about it here. Something like this, not as serious, but something like this has happened to me. When I was a sophomore in college, I went to a college event. If y'all don't know, I love swing dancing. I can do East Coast, I can do West Coast. That shit rips. When I was in college, my buddy was the president of the swing club, and he was hosting a swing dancing event where it's kind of a way for them to get new members. They just like have this big event outside on college campus, and anybody shows up and they teach you how to swing dance. They invite a bunch of freshmen, like whatever. My buddy was like, hey, I know you're not a part of this swing dance club, but can you come because you know how, and you can get people to like break out of their shell. You can teach guys, you can dance with girls, whatever. While I'm there, I dance with this cute German girl. She says, hey, I am a freshman here on exchange from Germany on a college campus. Met this girl, got her phone number, got her Snapchat. She's telling me the entire time, yep, 100%. I'm a college student. I'm a psychology major, blah, 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 blah. Typical shit. I invite her to a party. We're hanging out at a party. We ended up kissing at that party. Nothing crazy, just a quick little peck on the mouth. Then that night, she gets really weird and goes, hey, I have to tell you something. I'm actually only 17. She's like, I'm still in high school. I go to the high school by my college. And I was like, what are you doing? Like, I immediately started just being like, you can't do that. That's illegal for me to do. Granted, we didn't do anything crazy. Like, I never got any explicit pictures. There was never anything further than just like a quick peck. And it was like kind of a goodbye kiss. But I was like, you can't do that. I know you're from a different country, but you can't do that here. That is just straight up illegal. But here's the thing, Stark, is I think there are people out there that would blame me. And that's why I'm so scared to share this fucking story. It's like, I was at a college campus doing a college event, met a girl who claimed she was in college. And it's like so terrifying to me that that fucking happened to me. Like, it is probably one of the things that I look back on and have like immense amount of like shame about. Like, I feel bad for that, even though I know I didn't do anything bad, because a little part of me is like, maybe I should have known. But it's like, I had no reason to believe she was lying. It's something I think about a lot. Yes, don't get me wrong. I think there are lots of bad apples out there who are going to try to hook up with minors. Now, what I will say is I think there is a little bit of a culture sometimes of minors intentionally putting themselves in scenarios where they are tricking older people into believing they're above the age of 18. I would have been 19, turning 20 in like 3 months. Still illegal. Although, actually, now that I think about it, I think Iowa is one of those gross states where the age of consent is 16. Still not good. Just because that's the age of consent, not good. Not anything I would ever fucking do, by the way. I'm very pro try to date your age if you can. Minors are stupid and want to be adults. Like, I do think there is that culture trash fire where it's like, it happens. But it's just like one of those really scary things that, like, sure, someone could argue with like what Shredded Wheat was saying, like, you're supposed to check their ID. But I think someone said it like there could be fake IDs. Also, like, I don't go around checking the IDs of every person that I met on a college campus because I just expected that, hey, if you're on a college campus, you're gonna be 18 or older. I met a 19-year-old on Tinder. We were hanging out. She brought a 16-year-old friend. I was uncomfy, but it got worse. She was lying to mid-20s guys about her age. I tried to tell her that wasn't okay. She got mad. I don't know where that date with the 19-year-old went, but I would argue that that's not someone you want to hang out with. Like, you do not want to hang out with people who are encouraging 16-year-olds to catfish and lie about their age. That's just like a bad situation because either they're going to get taken advantage of by somebody who doesn't care, or they're going to have somebody do something kind of like OP where like they would have never done it had they known the information. Relevant comments. Commenter 1. The age of consent is 17 in Texas. The sex was legal. The video is not. He is violating child pornography laws. As long as you don't have or distribute a copy of the video, you aren't breaking any laws. OOP. Do you think going straight up to the cops would work, or should I get a lawyer involved? I want to tell someone what he's doing, if only so that he won't try to do it to someone else. His mother should definitely be made aware, but I don't know where he lives, so I can't just go tell her myself, assuming he even lives with her. Plus, I'm afraid that if I don't say anything, he'll email the video to my boss, who will probably fire me because this guy is under 18 and I work with at-risk youth. I'm really worried about what he could do to my name and my career. Thanks so much for your help. What I would say for this first part right here, go get a lawyer with the intent to have that lawyer help you present this evidence to the police so that A, you don't do anything illegal, because I think if you save the video to your phone, there could be an argument that you just saved CP. So I would make sure to do everything completely carefully and document everything correctly through a lawyer and then go to the cops. And then once that is reported and filed with the police, then I think your best bet for no matter what happens safety is I think you should go to your boss and let them know that this is something that they could potentially get sent to them. And two, I think like, yes, you work with at-risk youth. It should only be an issue if you did it on purpose. But if you have evidence and a filed police report that says, hey, I thought this was a consenting of age adults and it ended up being a 17-year-old, that should not be something that they can fire you for. And that's the part that I don't know is like, is this reasonable grounds for termination? Personally, I think the answer should be no, but I don't know. Maybe it's not. And then we have two more comments here. One comment said, look, you need to take a lot of deep breaths and hire a lawyer. I would recommend somebody who has a practice that specializes in defamation. You haven't committed a crime. Ironically, he has committed at least 3. Manufacture of child pornography, revenge porn, and extortion. But as you point out, for whatever reason, this person is trying to fuck up your future career, which, deep breath, probably won't happen. That's how I feel about it, is like, if he tries to fuck up your career, you have evidence to back up that that's not the case. And especially if you get ahead of it. Like if you don't tell your boss and then your boss gets this email, you're giving your boss the foundation to like not approach this situation correctly. Versus if you go to him and you're like, hey, so this is what's going on. Here's the filed police report. Here's the information. You're giving yourself the best bet to where now your boss has all the information to be able to operate appropriately. That's what I think should happen here. Based off what I know, I think you need to get ahead of it. And if you get fired for it, I think it's just a case for wrongful termination. Like you didn't do anything wrong here. Nonetheless, you need to consult a professional who can really put the screws to him and get the video deleted and an injunction of some sort. The law is very much on your side here, but I would highly recommend going on the offensive here with the assistance of an attorney. That's kind of what I meant, is like you need to go on the offensive. If you're on the defensive or you just don't do anything, I feel like that's the worst thing you can do. Commenter 3, as others have mentioned, he's the one committing criminal acts here. I would suggest going straight to the police on this, and the sooner the better. Texas is not currently on a statewide lockdown, so you might have a chance to get them to follow up with warrants on the guy's devices. Don't delete any conversations you have had with him. Texas recently passed HB 2974, which is geared directly towards sextortion, which this would count as. The police should take this very seriously. Yeah, and since he's so close to 18, he can probably be tried as an adult, right? Fuck, bro, I've been dragging out this story way too long. I feel like we just gotta read the update. It's an update that came the next day after the original post, April 7th, 2020. Long story short, following everyone's advice, I reached out to an attorney who advised me to begin compiling records of my communication with him and to record any communication we had going forward. She told me to avoid reaching out to him, but to be prepared if he reached out to me. I downloaded a call recording app and started backing up my screenshots of our texts and messages. He did unmatch me on Tinder, so thank you to everyone that warned me our conversations would go away. He didn't say so, but I think he may have seen my Reddit post. I only say that because I know it made the front page, and last night he called out of the blue to apologize and asked me to not call the police. So either he saw it or he had a come to Jesus moment. He told me that he is 19 and that he only said he was 17 to scare me, since I was being a bitch and wouldn't let him come over. I mean, listen, girl, verify his age. I think either way, you should fucking tell his mom about this. Oh, wait, no, he still recorded a video of her without her consent. Go get him. Fuck him. I mean, what a fucking asshole. Yeah, I'm so sorry I acted like that. You were just being such a bitch and wouldn't let me fucking smash. Like, what? That's not her fault. That's on you for being a fucking horny ass dude. When I told him to prove his age or I'd call the cops, he texted me a picture of his ID. He also says that it isn't me on the video, but that he deleted it anyway. I'm not sure if this is the truth, but I've got a recorded confession, so that's something. I haven't spoken to the attorney since he called me, but I did email her with a transcript and recording of our conversation. We have a meeting scheduled for tomorrow. I'm still going to be seeking legal action. I'm just not sure what action since his ID says he's 19. I mean, either way, he fucking blackmailed you with a video that he took without your consent and that he claimed was you. In that case, there was no CP, although I know there's still a case for sextortion. I don't think it would be wise for me to continue updating the situation on Reddit if he's here too, so this will probably be the last thing I say about it. I'm not gonna read this paragraph because it's awful, but it's basically calling out men in OP's DM saying the most awful shit. You can probably venture to guess what it says because men are fucking awful. Last paragraph, from this point on, I'll only be seeing men my age or older and IDing everyone. According to the attorney, the fact that he looked old enough wasn't an excuse. This might sound dramatic, but for most of yesterday, I really thought my life was over. Never again. That's crazy that it's like, this dude was fucking catfishing you on Tinder as a 19-year-old, but it's still your fault for not checking his ID. Hey, what about fucking Tinder, by the way? Why are these apps so absolutely blasted with bots, catfishes, people lying about themselves? Like, how is that OP's fault? I feel like that's a lawsuit against Tinder right there. Yeah, they met on Tinder. Why wouldn't you assume they're an adult? No, for real. Nobody meets somebody that they met from a dating app and they go, hey, let me see your ID to verify your age. Like, nobody has ever said that ever. And even if they did, fake IDs exist. And they're pretty fucking normal, by the way. Went for a tire change. Found a tracker under my car placed by my roommate. How do I go about this? Posted to r/relationship advice March 29th, 2020. I'm a 25 female. My roommate is a 34 male. I moved to a new town last year, only knew one person, stayed with her for a bit until I found a house to rent, but I needed a roommate. She introduced me to a guy she worked with who also needed a roommate because he just gotten a divorce. I met him first, didn't get weird vibes, seemed nice enough. About 6 months ago, he made the suggestion to be friends with benefits and I made the stupid mistake of agreeing. Okay, shoddy, why? I don't know who needs to hear this, but your random roommate from a friend of a friend is not a good person to be friends with benefits with, let alone a roommate in general. I know it's probably worked out for someone out there, but I would say 9 times out of 10, probably not the right move for your sanity, for your living situation, for a healthy relationship afterwards with that person. Bro. We both did not want a relationship. Everything was fine until he started getting weird and staying up until I got home, questioning me about where I had been and who I was around. I then ended the hooking up, told him I didn't think it was like that. He got mad. Everything was fine for a bit until yesterday. I live in a pretty rural area where most businesses are small and family owned. Since not a lot of people are getting out, I decided to go ahead and get some new tires and support a mechanic shop I go to, since I doubt they're getting regular business at the moment. I'm there waiting when the guy comes over and tells me he wants to show me something. I'm like, okay. We go over to my car and he bends down and points under at a black box. He asks me if I know what that is and tells me it's a GPS. It took me a second to understand the implications of a GPS being under my car. I was like, so someone put it there? It's clear I have no idea why it's there. And he got actually concerned and told me if I didn't know, I needed to find out. I feel so creeped out because I have no friends here. The friend I knew moved away. I only know some people at work, but we're not friends and it's been hard to meet people. There's no other way a GPS would be on my car unless my roommate put it there. Now I'm freaked out in a way I've never been before and I can't move out. I'm scared to ask him about it. I have no one to stay with, no family here. What do I do? Do I just ask him about it outright? I left the GPS there because I don't want him to know I know at the moment. What do I do? Don't get me wrong. I think where this is going is it is the roommate because it probably wouldn't have made it to best of Reddit or updates if the update was just like, JK, LOL, it wasn't my roommate. Well, actually, I don't know. Maybe it would. But I think number one, you got to figure out if it was actually the roommate that put this under your car. I'm not trying to give the roommate the benefit of the doubt here, but you don't know if the roommate put it under your car. And like you saying like, I don't think there's no other way a GPS would be on my car unless my roommate put it there. I don't think that's true. You could have a random person who's maybe trying to like traffic you or something, just like follow you. And then when you leave your car there while you're grocery shopping or something, like puts it under there. I don't think we can fully jump to the conclusion that it is the roommate until we know for sure. Now, here's what I will say. I think regardless of GPS or not, you should not be living with this guy. If he's interrogating you when you come home from going and doing things, that healthy roommate situation has been soured. You need to get out anyways. So my my recommendation is like, if you can, move away, not just from the roommate, but from this town. Because if it's not the roommate GPSing you, it's probably much worse. It's extremely unlikely that it's a stranger. You guys will have to correct me here, but like all the incidents that I've heard personally from people that I know about girls getting their cars GPS tagged, they've all been strangers GPS tagging their cars. Now, I don't want to say that my experience couldn't be an outlier and is the only one that we need to validate that information, but like genuinely, I've always thought strangers are the ones who've been tagging cars more often. Statistically, it's more likely to be someone you know. It's rare that it's a stranger. Okay, so statistically, it's probably the roommate here. Is there anything where you can like take GPSs that you find and like get them reverse GPSed? That probably made zero sense. You know what I mean though? Can you like go somewhere and figure out where a GPS is tracking from? Reverse tracked. Yeah, thank you, Fly Girl. That's what I meant. Yes, the police usually does that because you can call the company if there's a code on it, and most do. Ah, okay, so you guys are like, let's take this to the damn police ASAP Rocky. Okay. Cops will disregard her. I actually don't doubt that. Isn't that like a felony? Google with Sarby time. Also, Beans is here. Beans, say hello. Oh, my pretty handsome boy. Put away that butthole though. I know what you're gonna do. When you have to fucking censor your own cat because he's a slut. Sorry. Yes, in many states, it is a crime which can be classified as a felony or misdemeanor to place a GPS tracking device on someone's car without their knowledge and consent. So, like, the police have to take her serious, right? If this shit's illegal, it's an alley-oop. You find GPS. You contact company of GPS. You tell GPS company, hey, tell me who did this because they doing a legal thing. It's probably not that easy now that I say it out loud, but, like, shouldn't it? Still gonna report it anyways, but probably people aren't gonna care because it's happening to a woman. That's basically what you guys were saying. I'd have the mechanic call. They're more likely to believe a man with even just a little bit of an authority over her. That's actually not a bad idea, bro. I'd be such an asshole to the police if they wouldn't take me serious on something that I knew was illegal. I'd be such a fucking dickhead. I would literally spend all my money hiring lawyers to fucking make their lives miserable just because I'm petty like that. Fuck my new computer. We're dropping $5 grand on harassing the police department because those fucking assholes can't do their job. Fuck paying taxes to this ridiculous government. We're spending all my tax money for the year on harassing the police department to be better. We got relevant comments and then an update and more relevant comments. So, first comment. That is really creepy. Start planning your exit. Document everything. Another commenter replied to that saying, I would be concerned there are cameras in your bedroom and bathroom. Honestly, I would not feel safe to return home. I would immediately call police and file a report. There are devices you get from a spy store that can scan for the frequency of hidden cameras, but I would not even waste my time with that. My peace of mind would be worth a terminated lease and a breach in contract, which a police report would help you in civil court. Should you have to go, run, do not walk to the nearest exit. Okay, yes, I should clarify. I agree with this just to be safe. I still want to maintain like, hey bro, there is a slight chance it's not him. And like, you should operate with that in mind. But that being said, the most likely culprit is the roommate. And we should first operate as if it is the roommate while also trying to confirm that or figure out if that's not the case. Another commenter said, be specific as to how you know, not what you think or believe, but what actual proof do you have that your roommate put the GPS on your car? What I read is that some guy found something on your car. OOP, it's a small magnetic tracking device. Who else would it have been? I know no one, and this place is too rural for any kind of crime organization like stealing cars. No one would steal my 7-year-old car anyway. Girl, that's not why people track cars. Like, no one tracks cars to steal them. They track cars to steal you. Like I was saying, y'all, I just feel like her logic is a little flawed. Don't get me wrong. Most likely culprit is the roommate. But to say who else would it have been is like, a stranger who does trafficking shit. Someone asked OP if maybe the car dealership put it there. OP replied, I own it. I've had it for about 7 years since I started college. Paid for it in cash outright. Yeah, and I'm guessing if it had been there since OP bought it, another mechanic would have seen it by now. Update March 30th, 2020, the next day. I'm guessing this is on the same post. So last night I decided to suddenly pack my things and plan on making the drive at some point today back to my hometown. He works during the day, but I work from home because my office is closed until at least this summer. I realized I could probably fit all of my stuff in my car, and since my lease ends in May anyway, so I'm just moving out. The only furniture that's mine and not the landlord's or his is my bed, and it's old, so I think I'm going to leave it here. I went down to the police station early this morning and had them remove it. I don't think there's much they can do besides document it. They asked me some questions and I said I didn't know, but I know no one here and I think it might be my roommate. They said it looked like a cheap one from Amazon or eBay and they'll check it out. Honestly, I may just end up staying home. I miss being in a familiar place where I know basically everyone in town and I miss my friends. Working from home for a few months might give me enough time to switch jobs. So that's all I have for now. Thank you guys. I'll try to reply to people as well. Okay, and then I think most of the relevant comments here are just additional info. OOP replied to a downvoted commenter on dealing with the police. I've already gone to the police, even if I had told them, yep, told him my roommate did it. I know it. In parentheses, I didn't. I simply strongly suggested it. That is not grounds for someone's life to be ruined. They wouldn't even take that as fact until it was proven, even if they find definitive proof. I'd have to go through with pressing charges. If I did press charges, then it would be a simple misdemeanor. And at that point, if he got a misdemeanor, it would be rightly justified since it was all proven. And that's if I would even bother with charges in the first place. All of these minor things compared to if he was an insane loose cannon that could kill/hurt me if I just didn't mention his name. It's ignorant to not piece together the clues and be safe rather than sorry, instead of just saying, nope, I have no clue. Because I do have a clue, and I know it's him. I think everything OP is saying is cooking until this, because I do have a clue and I know it's him. Don't get me wrong, intuition is important, chat, but like intuition without confirmation is like how this happens again. Because like if this isn't the roommate, let's say it's an insane stalker, it's not gonna stop because you move away. I just feel like it's so not smart to pursue this more. Like I do think there is stuff that the cops can do. You just have to like push them to do it. Maybe they won't end up doing it eventually. I don't know if OP wants to do this. Maybe there's some digging that you could do on the roommate. But like either way, I just feel like and I know it's him, is like if you're wrong and it's someone actually stalking you, like you're gonna deal with this, right? I plan on asking him later today after my 8-hour drive home, so I'm interested in hearing what he has to say. OP added an edit/update to the original post March 31st, 2020, one day after the previous update. Update, since I think it'll get lost in the comments if anyone is curious. Already mentioned I went to the police/home, all settled in now. Ended up asking him about it via phone. He admitted to it. Got freaked out when I said I gave it to the police. Said he was concerned for my safety when I would go places by myself after work. In parentheses, yeah, okay. Bro, that's insane. I'm sorry. Like, even if you're concerned for someone's safety, the answer to that isn't to put a tracker on their car without them knowing. If you're concerned about someone that you cared about safety, ask them to share locations with you. Like, that to me is like consensual. You know where I am. I know where you are. This is not because I'm being a weird control freak. It's because I care about your safety. Like, I have so many people that I share location with whose safeties I care about, and a couple people who I'll check like every once in a while. I'll just be like, hey, where are they? You know, in case it's like, this might be a red flag. It's just so not a way to fucking be concerned for someone's safety. No, bro, just say you're a control freak stalker who has a crush on somebody and doesn't know boundaries. We got into a scuffle about it. He finally snapped and said he knew I was seeing someone when I was hooking up with him. In parentheses, I wasn't. So yeah, my first experience with crazy, hopefully my last. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to blame her, but like you start hooking up with your like roommate. Also guys, not a huge fan of women having random roommates. Like I know that's such a privileged thing to say as a man, but genuinely, if I have a daughter and she's like, yeah, I'm gonna have a random roommate, I'm gonna be like, hey, I will give you money so that you don't have to have a random roommate. That is so ungodly terrifying, especially a man random roommate. I just feel like you're asking for so much bad shit to happen to you, bro. Once again, just like on some male privilege shit for real, but genuinely, I think that's scary and unbelievably safe. Please, if you're listening to this and you're thinking about getting a random roommate in a town where you don't know very many people, and that random roommate is a 32-year-old man who just got a divorce that you know from a friend, please, for the love of God, don't do that. Just don't. There needs to be more like temporary living situations, like, oh, hey, I need to live here by myself until I can find a roommate type beat. Is that a business? We dropping a new business idea? Listen, she ended up being right. Hell yeah. Big WWB for OP. I do have to say, I feel like OP being like, oh yeah, I met this guy. Didn't give weird vibes. Seemed nice. Lived with him. Decided a good idea would be to be friends with benefits with him. All that proved to crash and burn. And then they were like, oh no, bro. Like I trust myself enough to know 100% that it was this roommate. I don't know, man. Because OP's young too, right? Yeah, 25 female. Like I think there's a little bit of growing up to do here. A little bit of life learning. I'm not blaming OP. I'm just saying I think there's a lot here that could have been avoided. Even if she wasn't friends with benefits, he'd probably start acting up. No, I agree with that, Arthropod. I'm just saying in general, I think guy roommates for girls when like you don't know them, or like when like maybe there isn't like multiple roommates involved, I feel like that's just a recipe for disaster. Yeah, I'm sorry, Sophia. I don't agree with you, because if you are taking the job as a cop, you need to prioritize other people's safety over your own, because that's literally what you signed up for. I have no sympathy for cops who are like, I was fearing for my life. I'm sorry, bro, but isn't that the point of you being being a cop. Don't get me wrong. You're going to be put in worse situations than I am in your job, but like you chose that job. If you're not built for that, go fucking do something else. I'm sorry, bro. I think that's a stupid excuse. If you don't put other people's safety ahead of your own, you shouldn't be a cop. Go do a job where you can be safe and your family can guaranteed be safe. If that's what you want to do, go for it. I'm not telling you not to. What I am telling you is if you commit to being a police officer, don't be a pussy. Isn't police to protect and serve? Yes, it's not to protect and serve when I feel like it. Like, that's not the oath. The oath isn't, I'm gonna protect and serve whenever I feel like I'm in a safe space to do so. Nah, bro. If you're scared, quit your fucking job. That's what I'm saying. I'm sorry you got bad grades in high school and couldn't make it in college, but the answer shouldn't be, oh, well, then I'm just gonna go become a cop. Like, no, those aren't the type of people we need walking around with handguns and the ability to exert power over other people. My boyfriend deleted my dead brother from my Instagram friends, and he doesn't seem to understand or care that I'm upset. We got a 32 female OP, 36 male boyfriend. Originally posted to r/relationship advice on September 30th, 2024. 6 years ago, my twin brother Sam died in a horrible accident on the freeway. It was one of the biggest accidents in our state. My only comfort is that he died immediately. The police said he most likely had no idea anything was happening around him. Anyway, before he died, Sam was a huge social media user, mostly on Instagram and Snapchat. I never followed him on Snapchat, but I followed him on Instagram. He made thousands of posts about his life, friends, family, music, etc. He was an amazing singer. After he died, I would go to his account and just scan through his account. I mostly watched a few videos he made where he does a dialogue for ESL speakers. He taught English to ESL students for extra money. I'd often pretend that he was speaking to me. I know it's not healthy to listen to my dead brother's voice every day, but it just becomes a habit. I feel like if one of my siblings died like that, like I would be doing the same. And like, I don't even really think it's unhealthy. Like, you're gonna miss them. That's so sad. A few weeks ago, my boyfriend had been urging me to break free from this. He told me that I need to move on. Hey dog, I know your twin brother just died, but you need to get over it. If one of my siblings died and someone told me that, I would fucking break up with them immediately. What do you mean get over it? I'm sorry, I'm not a sociopath. I cared about my sibling. I did start. I would only watch one video or even not use my phone until right before I went to bed. Last night I went to check my brother's account and I saw that it was gone. I was upset. I texted my sister and she said that she could still see his account. My boyfriend told me that he blocked my brother on my account. I was annoyed, but simply thought I could just go back to following him. But my brother's account was private and our family couldn't access his account years ago. The reasons why he blocked him is because he thought I was in love with my brother. Girl, I was questioning why the fuck you were still with this man when he was saying this shit about your brother. But now can we fucking toss him to the curb, light him on fire, castrate him? Cause like, what the fuck do you mean? If my partner accused me of being in love with my dead sibling because I missed them so much that I wanted to look at photos and videos of them, I would have the most monumental crash out on them in the history of mankind. Absolutely not. Just what the fuck? He even accused me of being once intimate with my brother. I wanted to vomit. He's my twin. We spent every single day together. Even when we grew up, we went to the same university. At the time of my brother's accident, we were roommates. I loved my brother, but not in a sick way. My boyfriend never met my brother. He and I only started dating 2 years ago, but after this, I don't know if I can/should continue this relationship. Girl, no, get rid of him. You should have gotten rid of him when he was saying shit like you need to get over it. My boyfriend keeps saying that I should move on, that what he did wasn't a big deal, but it was to me. Our mutual friends agree that I should just forgive and forget, but I feel like I'm grieving again. What? Also, fucking kick the friends to the curb and burn them like trash. Are you kidding me? What do you mean? My friend tells me that this is going on in their relationship. I'm like, you need to snap the fuck out of it. That's crazy. Nuh-uh. Absolutely not. Bring out the scissors, chat. It's castration time. Make them rusty and dull. This is what this man deserves. Are you fucking kidding me? Listen, if she was like, I don't know, what's some crazy shit you could do that would justify thinking your partner is in love with their brother or sister? If they were doing done some crazy shit. Like, I don't know, made a body pillow with their picture and they were dry humping it. Like, that's where I'm like, okay, you have a case to make this crazy accusation. But if you're just throwing this out because someone is grieving for their dead sibling, you are the worst human being. Someone could maybe recreate the brother's account so that OP can still visit an account how they want. I think that's actually really smart. Like, to be honest, OP's sister could just screen record his Instagram. Like, that's what I would do. Screen record, airdrop, and then drop your boyfriend off the edge of a cliff. Crazy, man. If my friends ever said that shit to me, I would be fucking livid. They would not be my friends anymore. Burn them with fire. All of them. Relevant comments here. First commenter says, your boyfriend just decided for you that blocking your late brother's account was the magical solution to your grief. That's not how it works. Grief isn't a switch you can just flip, especially when it's someone as close as your twin. You finding comfort in watching those videos is totally normal, and nobody gets to take that away from you. But then he takes it even further, accusing you of being in love with your brother. Dude, what? That's not just out of line. That's a whole different zip code of messed up. Grief is one thing, but him jumping to those accusations, yeah, no. Look, you've been taking steps in your own pace, and that's how it should be. He doesn't get to dictate how you handle your loss. Honestly, it's not about forgive and forget. It's about respect, and he clearly bulldozed that boundary. Such a good way to fucking put it. But he didn't just bulldoze that shit. He fucking nuclear bombed that shit. You're feeling like you're grieving again because in a way you are. He took away your way of connecting with your brother. Also, your friend saying just let it go. That's a hard pass. You deserve better than someone who not only doesn't get your grief, but makes it worse. Yeah, bro, OP must live in like a small Republican town, because what do you fucking mean this is your mindset? I'm so sorry. That could only happen in like small town, middle of nowhere, Republican ass bitch place. And all men are raised to have absolutely 0% empathy. OP replied to that saying, he told me he was just joking when he said that. It was not funny. This happened yesterday and I'm still very upset and I don't see myself ever forgiving him. He tried tickling me this morning to make me laugh. I'm just so hurt. Girl, if he has to tickle you to make you laugh instead of apologizing for saying some crazy shit to you and being jealous of your dead brother, what the fuck is we doing, bro? I know. Let's leave. Another commenter said, yeah, if someone did that to me, they'd be kicking rocks all the way home. Never let someone control your phone, social media, or anything else personal like that. They have no need, no matter what excuse they give. Your boyfriend is a fucking controlling tool who needs to be binned with other useless tools. OOP replied to that saying, he did it when I was in the shower. He knows my passcode because there's an app on my phone to open the door to our apartment. He has never gone through my phone before. I didn't think twice about leaving him with it. Honey, if he's accusing you of being in love with your brother and is so obsessed with that idea and truly believes it that he takes your phone while you're in the shower and unfollows and blocks your brother's account, that motherfucker's been in your phone before. There is 0% doubt in my mind that that man hasn't done that behind your back before. Another commenter just said, Jesus, get out. OP replied to that, I have to. I honestly don't see myself forgiving him. My sister is allowing me to use her account so the pictures aren't gone. But still, why would he do this? Don't let your fucking boyfriend near that phone. He's gonna do the same thing on your phone to your sister's account. What are we doing? A commenter replied to that comment saying, okay, but also your boyfriend is jealous of your dead brother. I'm sorry to put it so crudely. It is time to wake up. I mean, that's not even crudely. That is just how it is. You should have said, I'm sorry to literally tell you exactly how the fuck it is, dog. Another commenter said, absolutely heartbreaking to read. Is there a way for you to get access back to the account? You can grieve and remember and cherish your brother at your own rate. You do not need his permission or help. Thank you very much. Please dump this sack of shit. I'm not a fan of Redditors always going to this conclusion, but this is outrageous and your friends are losers. Get a new group of friends and a new boyfriend or spend some time alone living your life the way you want, which I'm sure your brother would have loved for you. He has shown you who he is. Don't doubt that. OP replied to that saying, as of today, I haven't figured it out. He never set up a legacy thing. We tried to get access a few years ago, but Insta didn't help much. My sister told me that I can't use her account. She's not a big Instagram user, so she said I could log in whenever I wanted. Also, my brother and I used to use Instagram to chat. For years, I've hoped that we can figure out a way to log in so that I can still keep those messages. Do you not have access to messages from people you've blocked? Is that a thing? I don't know. I mean, shit, bro, I haven't really blocked very many people. I've probably been blocked a lot. I can't even lie. I'm sure people hate me. If you block them, they disappear. Oh, that's so sad. Don't they come back when you unblock them though? I don't know. To be honest, as much as I do this social media shit, I really don't know how it works. I feel like that's bad too, right? Like, let's say like you get in a lawsuit with somebody and like they blocked you on Instagram, but you needed those messages. Like if those messages were just gone, that'd be fucking bad, right? They can still be subpoenaed. Okay. Commenter replied to that saying, screen record the videos you like best and keep them in photos folder somewhere else. So just in case anything like this happens or if his account gets deleted eventually, you'll still have them forever. Yeah, I think that's probably the best bet. I mean, you could also like mass download that shit. It's really not that hard. Okay, so it looks like we have a small update in the comments and then a very, very tiny update 3 days later. The first small update in the comments is, ha 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 ha, as of today, he's out of my house. I told him I need time to think. I removed his access into the complex and my apartment. I've calmed down, but I'm not going to forgive him, not with this. Commenter replied to that saying he'll come back and try and act sweet. Don't forgive this bag of shit. He doesn't have feelings for anyone but himself. OP replied, he has already tried. He sent me a message through a friend that he's going to give me a few days to calm down and that I'm being ridiculous. Girl, he really didn't try that hard. He did not try to act sweet at all. Like a try to act sweet would be like, oh, babe, you're so right. I crossed the line. Please forgive me. I'll let it happen again. Some lies. Bro literally said, calm down. You're being dramatic. You're being ridiculous. Here's a couple of days. That's what bro did to you. I have an idea. Be truly ridiculous and burn his shit. OP updated it October 3rd, 2024, 3 days later on the same post. Update, I kicked him out. I gave it a few days for me to calm down, but this was just a breach in trust. He still thinks I'm overreacting. And I've also cut ties with our mutual friends. They were mostly his friends. Oh yeah, well, no wonder they were fucking on his side. This incident made me realize I need to spend more time with my family. I've been chatting more with my sister. After Sam's death, I was a bit cold towards her, but she has helped me a lot these past couple of days. Also, thanks to some amazing people on here, we were able to get into Sam's account. I'm now the owner of it. Thank you all. Aw, that's kind of cute. And lastly, Sam, I miss you every single day. I really don't think it's that weird to fucking want to look at pictures and videos every single day of somebody that died who was a loved one. Like, I genuinely think, knock on wood, if that shit happened to me, I'd be doing the exact same thing. I really would. I mean, shit, bro, I hope there's someone out there who loves me enough to where if I passed early, they'd be like obsessively on my YouTube channel where they're like, I miss you so much. I just want to like spend time with you and the hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of content you put on the internet. That might low-key be a bad thing though. My sisters probably watch this and be like, man, maybe it's a good thing he's dead. I'm just playing. They would never do that, but that would I have a friend who passed from cancer. I still look at his Instagram all the time, and that was 10 years ago. Bro, exactly. You got it. My neighbor told me about a woman visiting my boyfriend when I'm gone. We have a 22 female OP, a 70s female neighbor, a 20s female woman, and a boyfriend who's 22 male. Originally posted to r/relationship advice on March 10th, 2019. I've been together with my boyfriend for 3 years, and he moved in with me last year. I was already living here for a year or so and developed a friendship with my lovely neighbor. She's retired and a really sweet lady. She basically knows everyone in the neighborhood and sits at home most of the day. Today, she came up to me and said that she had something to tell me, but that I shouldn't get mad at her. I told her I would never get angry with her and to go ahead. She said that when I've been gone, probably a late shift or when I'm visiting someone, I don't know, she has seen a woman come into my house and leave before I come back. I pressed her for more details and she said that as far as she knows, she's seen her come by 3 times and that she thought I should know. When she leaves, she hugs/kisses my boyfriend and she believes she stays at least an hour or 2. Got some generic details from her appearance, but nothing specific. So it's not like, oh, this could maybe be her sister. It could maybe be like, I don't know. There's no excuse for him to be hugging and or kissing another girl. Of course, all alarm bells are going off in my head. There are no signs my boyfriend is cheating, and we've talked about how we would rather end things instead. He did start working overtime more, but I have a friend at his company who talked about this too, and he's bringing in bigger paychecks, so that adds up. I don't want to jump to conclusions. How do I approach this? What do I do? And how do I confront my boyfriend? I don't know anything for sure, and it could be anything at this point. I'm really freaking out right now. I mean, I don't think it could be anything at this point because it really comes down to either this woman is just straight up lying with you to try to fuck with you, or your boyfriend's doing the hanky-panky on the side. There's no explanation to why he should be kissing another girl who has been there for an hour or 2. I mean, I think the first thing you should do is get tested. I feel like that's the common starter for people who just just found out that their partner's been cheating on them. I mean, I think the answer is you like maybe come up with a fake trip that you need to go on, but then like not actually go on the trip and try to catch him red-handed. I think that's the best way to figure out if this lady is lying or not. Because like if you confront him about it, he might lie. My thing is, if they're friendly with their neighbor, why kiss outside? I think it's just they're probably like, oh, surely nobody is watching me do this fucked up shit. Nobody expects their neighbors to be like spying on them like that. Whomever it is, someone's in your house. Like even if he wasn't kissing this woman, like what the fuck is this person doing in your house like that? Somebody must have recommended cameras. 789 is saying, I think cameras are too far. I think it's fine if you want to put a camera like in the living room that has view on the front door so that when you leave, you can see if he is letting a woman through the front door and seeing how he greets her. Putting it in the bedroom's probably a little far. Then you're probably catching stuff that people aren't consenting to. That's bad. Could be a relative of the boyfriend. I mean, why are they kissing like that then? Also, if it is a relative of the boyfriend, why isn't OP being informed of this? Why is this person only coming over when OP is gone? I feel like if OP was like, oh, I remember my boyfriend telling me about the 3 times that this neighbor has seen this happening, they had a relative come over. I have cameras in my house for my cat, so I don't think cameras are too far in common areas. Yeah, I also. But here's the thing, like, I do think it's bad to have cameras in common areas and not tell someone that you're living with that the camera is there. But also, when you have a suspicion, like, I can kind of see it. She didn't say it was on the lips. Okay, sure. I mean, maybe not, but like, I feel like if she included that they're kissing. Let's read these relevant comments. We got a couple relevant comments here and replies from OP. First comment said 2 approaches. 1, hey, who's your friend that visits while I'm gone? Or 2, I know about the other woman you're seeing. You have 1 chance to sit down right here, right now and come clean 100%. Otherwise, you're moving out and you're moving out now. 1 lie, 1 omission, and you're gone. If you in any way fear his reaction or plan on throwing him out anyway, I'd have a few friends on standby. OOP replied, this is pretty useful, thanks. I think I'm going with number 1 and work towards number 2 if it doesn't check out. I'm confronting him tomorrow. Hey, buddy. Kind of doing the thing right now. Is this urgent? Ah, yes. Mandatory, pay attention to me. My name is Beans. It is a wonderful Beaninator. That's a silly boy. That's a silly boy right there. Boop. Thank you. Do you want to? Oh. No? Okay. Bro, he bamboozled me. He's like. Bro went, shut the fuck up. Here's my tail in your mouth. Oh, you're so cute. I love you. You're such a silly guy. How did you become so silly? Is it because your dad's silly? Is that why you're silly? Is it because your dad's silly? Ah! I'm sorry. My bad, dog. The silliest guy. You're just a silly guy, Mr. Bates. But it's okay because you're my silly guy. You're just my silly guy. Yes, you are. What I was going to say here, this might be my I enjoy too many like cop shows, but I feel like if you had a suspicion that somebody was doing something, confronting them only gives them the opportunity to cover shit up before you can find evidence. Versus if they don't know that you're onto them and you try to collect the evidence before they know that you're onto them, then you're just going to have a better shot of like getting the real answer. Versus what they're doing is they're like, hey, go up to him and just bank on you having the skills and the know-how to like get this out of him. Yeah, that's my thing too, 789. Like, get evidence, because if you falsely accuse, you just ruined your relationship. Don't get me wrong, there's a chance this old lady is lying. I want to acknowledge that, but like, if there's no clear motive as to why she's doing this, I think you should operate with it being a lead that you have to follow in whatever makes sense. Like, don't get me wrong, I think this is good, but I think a seasoned manipulator can finagle themselves out of this one. And then we have another comment here, says, give the neighbor your number. Ask her to call you when she sees the visitor. What if she is seeing you going to work, not realizing it's you? OP said she would definitely recognize me, and the woman has a different hair color, so I know for sure it's someone else. I don't have enough patience for this option, though. It's eating me alive. Patience is so important. Girl, set this man up. Do a sting operation with your friends or some shit. Like, that's what I'm doing. I'm sorry. If a girl ever cheats on me and I get wind of it, like, we're getting hard evidence. Update, March 13th, 2019, 3 days later. The next morning, I decided to confront my boyfriend. I wanted the truth from him. I was very upset, to say the least, so I asked him who the woman was that was coming over when I was gone. He looked kind of confused and then started chuckling. I asked him why he was laughing and that I wasn't joking around. He's been preparing to propose to me, and one of my best friends came over to look at rings and talk about how and where he should do it. I felt really guilty for assuming he was cheating, but even he admitted that it didn't look very good. He showed me some of the plans they had made and the text between them, but that he is going to change things up now that I know. I kind of ruined the surprise, but oh well. I called my friends afterwards and she couldn't believe what happened. We shared a few laughs. He's been working overtime to get me a ring. Okay, wait. Yo, girl, your best friend be kissing your boyfriend like that? Let me just finish this. He's been working overtime to get me a ring and I don't know how I missed all the signs. She only came over twice, so I guess my neighbor's not that sharp anymore, LOL. Looking back, it all makes so much sense. My friend has been low-key asking me about getting engaged, what kind of ring I would like, etc. I feel really stupid and bad for assuming the worst, but my boyfriend doesn't hold it against me and said he would probably have handled it the same way. I'm so happy that we're cool now. The thought of cheating was so tough on me, I already called in sick Monday. For anyone wondering, I already told him I'm going to say yes. Top comment is, I had an elderly neighbor tell my ex-wife that I had a girl coming over while she was at work. It was my daughter. Is nobody gonna point out the kiss thing? Wait. I tend not to kiss my wife's friends, but okay. You're missing out on kiss your wife's friends all the time, so they're great kids. Great. That's a great line. It's a great comeback. I don't know. I hope this was truly a happy ending and the boyfriend isn't cheating, but like you didn't press a little bit more on the accusation of kissing the boyfriend. On top of that, wouldn't you be able to maybe piece together that the woman is talking about is your best friend? Like, it sounds like she provided details. Like, she would definitely recognize me and the woman has a different hair color, so I know for sure it's someone else. Like, wouldn't you be hearing a description from this lady and be like, oh, that could be my best friend? Like, I'm very dubious, chat. Lady might be in her 70s, but kissing and hugging at the door is really specific detail. If she told the truth about the friend visiting while OP was gone, why would she make that part up? I don't know, bro. I think Reddit wants this to be a wholesome story a little too bad. I know we live in rough times, but my red flags are redding right now. If anyone I knew came up to me and was like, I had a scare. This is what this old lady told me. And this is what my partner told me. I'd be like, and you didn't maybe surmise that like there's still some hanky panky here? Like you didn't ask your boyfriend about the kiss? People do kiss as a greeting in some cultures, but OP didn't even ask about it. Maybe. I don't know. I guess we don't know the country this person is from. Oh, it was a deleted one. Wouldn't it still be weird though? Then why would the neighbor even include it if it was common in that country for that to be the way that they greet each other? And I also think there's a difference between like a greeting kiss and like a kiss that you observe and go, maybe that guy's cheating on his girlfriend. Listen, I think Reddit just really wants a wholesome story real bad. We're all craving it at the fucking foaming at the mouth for it. My alarm bells are going off. I think there's some weird shit happening. My boyfriend won't try on his Christmas present. Originally posted to r/relationship advice on November 24th, 2020. Not gonna lie, I'm pretty fucking angry and I'm basically only here to whine and moan. If a mellowed out soul wants to give me some advice that might be helpful though, because I currently want nothing more than to punt the bastard off of a cliff. Oh my God, this is gonna be good. I'm 27 and he's 33. Together 4 years. We have artsy hobbies and we usually like to make each other a handmade gift for Christmas. We usually enjoy it, but honestly, this last year, he is constantly at my house, leaving his ball hair under my toilet seat, whining about Boris Johnson and doing my Swede-in? What the fuck did I just read? Chat, who the fuck is Boris Johnson? And what the hell does it mean to do my Swede-in? Also, I'm confused. How the fuck does your ball hair get under the toilet seat? He's the ex-UK Prime Minister. Is he like a bad guy? I'm trying to ask, does he have a good reason to whine about Boris Johnson? Like, listen, I whine about Trump all the time, but it's because Trump fucking sucks. He is British Trump. Okay, so yeah, then maybe the girlfriend is the red flag. What the fuck does it mean to doing my Sweden? What is this lingo? I swear to God, I know British people speak English, but it's not English. The shit you guys say makes no sense. He lifts the seat a little to stick the hairs there on purpose. How? As a ball hair haver, how the fuck does it get on the toilet seat? I genuinely cannot contemplate that. Like, is the toilet seat getting shut on his balls and then when he stands up it rips the hair off? Like, what is bro doing where his ball hair is falling off of his sack and onto the toilet? Oh my God, I'm forgetting that some dudes shave their balls over the toilet and not in the shower. I totally forgot about that. But also, why are you shaving your ball hair at your girlfriend's place? I'm so confused, y'all. What do you fucking mean? Yeah, chat, I don't know who needs to hear this, but some dudes definitely shave their ball hair over the toilet instead of in in the shower. And also, I just want y'all to know, I was telling a bunch of dudes that I shave my shit in the shower, and they were saying I was the weird one. Nobody's explained what doing her okay, I'm gonna have to fucking look this up. What does it mean to do a Sweden? Does that mean like he's bad at sex? What does this mean? Do my Sweden to get on someone's nerves. Just fucking say that. Do my Sweden. What does that even mean? I'm fucking crashing out right now over British lingo. Why the fuck do you guys say that shit? All of you chatters right now saying some British ass shit. Stop. I hate you all. Americans say stupid shit too. You know what? Fair. Okay, but we won the Revolutionary War, so hold this for me. I saw an advert for Dogs Trust about how Milo the Doberman is going to spend Christmas alone this year, and I'm jealous of the fucker. I'm sure that makes sense in Britain. We're just gonna keep going. Anyway, I sew as a hobby. For Christmas, I thought it would be nice to make my boyfriend a blazer. He asked for one for his birthday, but I couldn't get fabric for his birthday this year. I made blazers before, but the materials I bought this time were not cheap. So to make sure I knew what I was doing, I got some of the leftover fabric from my last project and made a mock-up / prototype to make sure it was right. For the last 3 days, I've been sewing about 80 different tiny little invisible pockets and invisible seams and buttonholes, but now I've got a pretty decent mock-up of what I want the real blazer to look like. What a fucking awesome gift. If my girlfriend made me a handmade blazer, I would get down on one knee immediately. That's fucking awesome. What a great gift. I just wanted to check if it fits him properly, so I asked him to take 10 minutes to try it on so I could make sure. I don't know what his problem is, but he decided that instead of trying it on so I can check if it fits like I asked, he would start a row with me. A row because the fabric I made the trial blazer out of has flowers on it and was at some point in the week pinned to my mannequin, who is a woman. He won't put it on. He's telling me he won't put it on even though he knows I'm the only one who's gonna see it. I wish I was joking. Actually, no, I don't. Because the girls and I are all having a right giggle about it. This dude, bro. Oh no, I can't wear it because it has flowers and it was worn by a fucking mannequin. Really, bro? You're that fragile? You can't have a couple of flowers? And it was on a girl mannequin because she needed something to put it on? That's so crazy to me. Listen, bro, I don't give a fuck what you bench at the gym. If you're so weak you can't wear a couple of flowers, you're a baby back bitch. I bench 300 pounds. Nah, bro, you won't wear flowers? Beta. Big old pussy, bro. I don't know what he wants, but if he thinks that after I've spent 200 pounds on materials to make this fucking blazer, I'm gonna trot my ass down to the craft shop to spend another tenner on a roll of plain fat. What is a tenner? I just need to get through the story. I'm so sorry. This read is probably not gonna be enjoyable. I don't understand what the fuck you British people are saying. But if he thinks that after I've spent 200 pounds on materials to make this fucking blazer, I'm gonna trot my arse down to the craft shop to spend another tenner on a roll of plain fabric because he wants a mock-up that doesn't have flowers on it, he can get on his bike and ride to Timbuktu. I mean it. He's been playing up like a fucking imbecile for weeks now. I'm sick of his bullshit. I'm not going to coddle him and pretend that what he's asking for is reasonable. I mean, girl, I hate to break it to you, but I feel like he's been an imbecile. Like, you're probably just kind of getting your wits end now. If you started this post being like, God damn, this guy's fucking annoying, and I wish he didn't come over as much as he does. Hey, dog, that's probably not somebody you should be with. If he hasn't even gotten to the stage of living with you yet, and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe this guy's fucking spending time with me, that's a sign. That is a sign from the British heavens that is not your man. Tenor is American slang too, though? No, it's not. What is a tenor? I have never in my life said, oh, I'm gonna go and spend a tenner on this. I'm telling you right now, no, it's not. Who the fuck says that? This is the crash out stream for real. I'm jacked to the tits. Yo, bro, spot me a tenner. Never said that in my life. Never had a dude ever say that to me or a girl. I've talked to my therapist about this and he talked about reasonable ways to resolve this conflict. Currently, I've come up with 1, shag his daw and then go on the Jeremy Kyle show to tell him. Oh my God, that's shag his dad and then go on the Jeremy Kyle show to tell him. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna crash out. I don't know who the fuck Jeremy Kyle is, but fuck him too. 2, make him sleep in the car and then have the car towed off the pier. 3, give him a card and a Snickers bar for Christmas, wait for him to complain, then chuck his clothes out the upstairs window while the neighbors watch. Do you even like this guy? And I'm not even blaming OP. I'm genuinely like, is this what you want to deal with? It sounds like your subconscious is like, hey girl, this guy ain't fucking it. But your conscious is fighting your subconscious, but your conscious is also kind of slowly getting there. Like, I did not read this and think, oh, this girl is so in love with this man, other than the fact that you made him a blazer. But by the way that you're speaking about him, him, I think you could just find one that you like better. Me personally, I just think there's a better option here. OP ended it with saying, I'm open to more suggestions if you can think of anything better. I mean, I already said it, man. I think you got to break up with him. Not only is he probably a fucking insecure little man child, but also it doesn't even really sound like you like him that much. It sounds like you're going through the motions of being in a relationship, but you don't even really want to be in the relationship with this guy. It sounds like you're pretty over this man. And this is just the cherry on top that might make you finally take the fucking blinders off. Find you a new man and give him a blazer. Exactly. I think any normal man will be like, that's such a fucking sick gift. If a girl I love comes up to me and is like, hey, I spent so much time making you a prototype for a blazer to make sure you like everything, put it on, and it says, I like big dicks in my butt, I'm putting that shit on. Like, you fucking spent that much time to make me something that I asked for and that will make me look better? Fuck it, bro. Throw that shit on me, man. I don't give a fuck. Oh, but no, it has a couple of flowers on it. Get the fuck out of here. Okay, first comment. I'm laughing my ass off right now at your possible solutions. They all sound reasonable to me. All I can think of is to shelve the whole thing for now and ask him calmly if he wants a blazer or not. Possibly after preemptive self-medication to enable calm. If he does, he tries this on. If not, he owes you an apology for wasting your time. What does he think will happen if he tries on a flowered mock-up? His dick will fall off? You can fix that. OP replied, appreciated. The therapist didn't agree. What? I'm so confused, by the way. Is this therapist a fucking moron? Appreciated. The therapist didn't agree. Please tell me what the therapist is saying. I need to know. Though I can fix that, I think no penis suits him better. Damn, that's a crazy threat. Same commenter replied to OP saying, you should finish up the flowered blazer without a fitting and give it to him for Christmas. Oh, that's crazy. You should finish up the flower blazer without a fitting and give it to him for Christmas too. Maybe add some lace and bows. That's also a great answer if you're not gonna break up with him. I'm like, girl, why are you with this man? Like, it's not like you were like, he's the most sweet, kind, handsome, awesome boyfriend ever. I just get a little annoyed with him every once in a while. It literally was you being like, nah, bro, this guy gets on my fucking nerves. Living with him is like being in British hell. OP replied to that saying, I do like that idea. Tell him I knew it was inappropriate to ask him to wear something like that without a matching clutch bag. Somebody replied to that comment saying, don't do this. Don't lean into the toxic masculinity. It's not girly to like flowers, and he doesn't have a vagina just because he's being an asshole. OP replied to that saying, absence of a penis does not a vagina make, my friend. However, you are right. Just because he's being a dildo, I shouldn't play up to it, but I'm mad, so I'm just gonna shred his masculinity in the anonymous comments. Another commenter said, his masculinity certainly sounds very fragile. Girl, it sounds like you're scraping the bottom of the barrel with this man. Listen, chat, I'm so pro, like, hey, if we're gonna have icks for shit, we gotta make our icks more high-tier filters for stupid shit like this. Like, this should be an ick. I'm sorry, if my sibling came up to me and was like, yeah, this man I'm attracted to won't wear a flower blazer because he thinks it's for girls, I would be like, hey dog, what are we doing? Get rid of him. I don't want no baby back bitch for a brother-in-law. OP replied to a comment, I'm guessing, probably commenting on the toxic masculinity, but OP replied, the ironic thing is he's the biggest pussy I know. Dude, honestly, most of those guys are. They're all talk. They're Twitter fingers. They're like, oh, I'm so fuck. Why do you have your nails painted? That's so unmasculine. Like, what are you, a fucking girl? And then they're just a bunch of fucking pussies in real life. Bro, you might as well paint those Twitter fingers too, dog. Oh, finally, someone's asking the real questions here. A commenter said, it sounds like you want to break up with him. Why don't you? OP replied, honestly, I'm going to. Today really set me off, but it's not the first time he's behaved in a way that's completely infantile for no reason. I can't be with someone like that. Finally. Thank you. I feel so heard right now. OP made one final comment / update on the same day. His stuff is packed and by the door. It's up to him when to come and get it. He knew I was a cold bitch when he got with me. I didn't know he was a man-child until I had to lock myself in a house with him. I think I deserve some slack. Okay. I mean, we got there. Hell yeah, sis. Good for her. I don't know what woman, like, listening to this podcast needs to hear this, but, like, if your man has toxic masculinity, is fucking, like, Republican as hell, or, like, just displaying things that you choose to ignore and put up with, why? He better have a magic fucking dick for you to be putting up with that shit. That dick better be doing fucking helicopters and whirlies in your fucking vagina for me to at least kind of understand why you still stick around with him. If that's not happening, get the fuck out. Looks like the DA I'm going to trial with tomorrow used AI to write her motion in Lamines. So far, every case citation is fake. I am so excited for court in the morning. Editor's note, motion in limine is a pre-trial filing where an attorney asks the judge to include or exclude certain evidence in an upcoming case. I'm guessing the case citation is fake part is the most important factor of that. God, I fucking love it when lazy people get that shit. All right, this was posted in r/public defenders on Friday, September 19th, 2025. Oh, wait, that was the post. Wait, that's so funny, chat. It's literally just the header here, and then OP includes some updates and stuff like that. So, okay. That's by far the fastest read of my entire life. Pa-pow, pa-pow. You're welcome, chat. Okay, so Friday, September 19th, 2025 is like the day it was posted, and then there's a commenter here from the original post who said, I am brimming with excitement on your behalf. Hopefully you can turn this into some kind of win for your client. OP said, oh, we are at the last day of a statutory time limit, my friend. It's going to be incredible. No clue what a statutory time limit is. Does anyone know in chat? Does anyone want to educate me real quick? Statutory time limit is the time until a case can no longer be prosecuted. Thank you, Kat. I appreciate you. Okay, so OP made a couple edits here. First one, I sent an email 5 minutes before court that simply said, regarding your filed motions, it appears none of your cited authority actually exists. The DA then just no-showed. Someone else had to make the appearance. The DA is now ordered present at 1 p.m. to explain herself. Let your colleague know we can always have her brought here if she can't get here on her own, was the quote of the day so far. But unfortunately, my client attacked a guard at the jail and was not transported, so everything is a total shit show at the moment. Maybe your client's guilty. Maybe the DA should have done their job, high-key. Well, that's insane. Second edit OP made. It's so much worse than it originally seemed. Found out she straight up lied to the court about her communications with LEAs regarding the case. What in the fuck is an LEA? Does anyone know what an LEA is? Please, do we have a lawyer in chat? Please, 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 please. Law enforcement agent? Wait, so she lied about talking to the actual police officers who are helping her prosecute the case? Damn. Okay, and then another edit here. She can't be present at 1 p.m. because she is being sanctioned for misrepresentation in another matter at that time. I am losing my mind. How is this real? She's not a new attorney. Back at 2 p.m. r/whoosh for real, for real. What the fuck does it mean to be sanctioned for misrepresentation? Bro, next time I'm bringing a dictionary to stream. What are all these words? That's what I'm saying. Should I call my lawyer friends? Wing, wing, wing. Hello. What does it mean to be sanctioned for misrepresentation? That would be so funny, chat. Okay, some of y'all saying like held in contempt for lying or getting in trouble for lying. I'm just gonna roll with that. You guys could be fucking with me or lying or not actually know what it means and just making shit up. I don't know. At this point, it's all the same to me. Last update here. Final update before Monday, in parentheses, probably. And there is a actual final update here. I am in the trial court with 3 other trials and the judge is absolutely livid. The judge ordered the client released from custody for reasons too complicated to get into. And the DA who filed the AI motion in limines tried to get the court to order me personally to transport him next week based on the same case law I already told her was fake. She quoted the exact same language that didn't exist and said, the courts have held, but never cited anything. I asked for a citation and she said she didn't have one right now. The judge literally yelled enough and ordered everyone present Monday afternoon. She wants new briefing from me on, in her words, what the fuck is even happening here? The DA is not permitted to amend her filed MILs, but may file a supplement. I think we'd all like to hear you argue exactly what you cited in your motions, Miss DA. The development that has kicked all this up a notch is that deputies are telling us there was no fight at the jail. No one can figure out where that came from. The DA told the sheriffs he wouldn't need to be transported today if he wasn't cooperative. When they woke him up for transport, he was groggy and slow, so they decided that meant he was refusing to go to court. What the fuck is happening? This story is so messy. There's at least one deputy who said he tried to tell both the DA and his boss that this was wrong and he needed to go to court, but they didn't listen. I wish I could give everyone a rundown of exact legal issues, but I'm changing details to preserve some degree of anonymity for both myself and the client. Wait, hold on. So the DA was the one who decided that he was too groggy and slow, so that meant he was refusing to go to court? Is that fucking for real, chat? Can they do that? I can't even lie. I'm very confused. I don't understand law and how courts work for me to comprehend what the fuck is happening. Like, I almost want to call my lawyer friend and be like, hey, can you explain this shit to me? But it's 9 p.m. and I can't do that. Jenny, I don't care. I am not a lawyer. It does not matter to me. I'm going to pronounce it however the fuck I want. This lawyer shit confuses me. The DA sounds like they aren't honest. That is the one thing I am gleaning from this, is that the DA is a fucking moron. Probably corrupt, probably doing some sketchy shit. That's all I really understand here. But like, I don't understand if this is like good or bad for OP. Like, I don't understand why the judge isn't just completely throwing out this case. Why is he like, oh, hey, you guys have to be present Monday afternoon? Like, I'm the judge. This DA's fucking shit up. It's like, you're wasting my goddamn time. But I don't know. Maybe this is a good thing. Maybe it's a good thing that the judge is having them come back Monday. I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't. I mean, we don't know what this dude did. So I guess that like, but Reddit's a little crazy. We got an update. Let's just see where this goes and hopefully you can understand this update better. Final update is titled Judgment. Dismissal of all charges in the interests of justice due to prosecutorial misconduct and referral to the state bar. The judge went through the motions in limine and each time made a finding that the DA had cited non-existent authorities and denied them, commenting about halfway through that it was starting to seem a little suspicious. The judge was also kind of grossed out by how nakedly one-sided several of the motions were. Like one very bizarre request that the prosecution be allowed to make a motion for directed verdict before defense put on their case. Okay, I don't know what that means, but that sounds fucking bad. Chat, is that saying that they motioned for there to be just a verdict without the client and the defense being able to defend the client? Is that what that's saying? No fucking way that's a thing. That sounds like what ICE is doing. How the fuck is that even legal, bro? What? I deliberately structured my motions so the big ones would be last. All of her evidence was excluded along with her witnesses for due process violations, RE, notice, and confrontation. The judge delivered a zinger at this point so vicious it felt like a gun went off, but I can't think of a way to share it without doxing myself. Right before we get into my big MIL about the lying and my suspicions regarding AI use, the DA asks for a recess because she needs to speak with her supervisor. She returns and says, in light of your rulings this morning and the prejudice they will cause to the state's case, we no longer feel there is a reasonable possibility of conviction. The judge interrupts. Agreed. The matter is dismissed in the interest of justice for substantive due process violations arising from the misrepresentations and misconduct of the prosecution. This is based on the declaration of defense counsel filed this morning and the court's own observations as to the numerous illegal citations in the state's pleadings. Transcripts are ordered and counsel for the state is referred for an order to show cause before the state bar. I think that's lawyer fancy term for you fucked up and we're sending you to the people that can potentially revoke your license. I think that's what that means. Don't quote me on that though, because like not a lawyer, clearly. I make my living making YouTube videos and saying stupid, silly shit. Please don't trust me to teach you lawyer speak. I've been transparent about the fact I'm changing many details to preserve confidentiality, but here's the core of what transpired. An attorney for the state tried to deprive someone of their most basic civil rights by fabricating statements from jail staff regarding the behavior of that client, and used fake AI-generated authorities in an absolutely fake AI-generated pleading. After reviewing my history of communication with this attorney, I discovered this has been an issue for quite some time, but you will all be pleased to hear that anything in quotes is pretty much verbatim. I love this judge so much because she does not put up with bullshit. Needless to say, I am exhausted, but I've enjoyed having you all join me on this journey. Ultimately, though, I just feel kind of sick to my stomach that this has happened in the first place. Don't get me wrong, I feel like I understood more from this last paragraph, but I just don't really comprehend, like, how much of a fucky-wucky is this? Was this DA using AI to just do their job for them because they were too lazy to do it, but they weren't checking everything so that everything that it came back with wasn't actually real? Or was the DA, like, pulling some fuck shit and, like, trying to manufacture situations that would frame OP's client as like insanely guilty? Like, that's what I'm trying to understand. This commenter said, my understanding of what this actually means: 1, this DA has been using AI to half-ass their job for a while. 2, in this specific case, the AI hallucinated a lot and it was really obvious. 3, when this was pointed out to the court, the DA sent another attorney in her place to try to hide from it. 4, when that didn't work, she had jail staff lie and say the accused was being uncooperative to try to create an excuse why the case needed to be postponed. 5, all of this blew up in her face massively. The case got dropped and she may be disbarred. Or not. Who knows? Okay. Yeah, it kind of surprises me that this was a most upvoted post in Best of Redditor updates. Listen, I'm not stupid, but I'm not smart enough to know how like lawyer shit works. And this is just way out of my wheelhouse. Like, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. If this wasn't 4 or 15 most upvoted video, I would not fucking read this one. This was so ungodly over my head. I am way unqualified to be reading these ones. I'm sorry. If y'all want more posts from r/public defenders, you guys are gonna have to go to another YouTuber for that. I am missing on that shit. Oh, hello, Mr. Bates. Hello, my handsome boy. What are you on, my boy? What are you doing? Beans is so chunky, don't say that. The vet said he was perfectly fine. The vet said he weighed a perfect amount. He was like 13 pounds, I think. Which, to be honest, not bad for as big of a cat as he is. Look at this bro. Look at how big he is. Wow. Look at my big boy. He's a big guy. Girlfriend and I got into a huge fight over a keyboard, thinking about ending things based on her behavior. We have a 26 male OP and a 26 female girlfriend, originally posted to r/relationship advice on May 19th, 2019. So my girlfriend and I got into a fight about this 2 nights ago. She's making it seem like I'm being an a-hole. We've been dating for about 4.5 months. My girlfriend has a 2013 Lenovo laptop that has seen better days. As it stands right now, among some other issues, her keyboard totally doesn't work. Because of this, she always uses a small Bluetooth keyboard with her laptop. She had texted me the next morning saying that her wireless keyboard had stopped working as well. We had already planned for me to stay the night at her place after I got off of work, so I offered to stop by my place on the way to grab her a keyboard, as I have a few extras. When I got to her place, she was eagerly awaiting the keyboard, which makes sense, as she wasn't able to use her computer for most of the day. But when I handed her the keyboard, she started getting really quiet and pouty. A bit later, when I asked her what was wrong, she said she thought I'd be bringing her something nicer, like the keyboard I have on my desk. The thing is, I have a really nice keyboard at my desk. I'm a programmer, and I love this keyboard so much that I also bring it to work with me. I even have specific macro profiles for it that definitely improve my workflow. For context, I had an extra Amazon Basics keyboard around $15 laying around, still brand new in the box. My personal keyboard, which I've had for years, is some variant of the Razer Black Widow, around $120. Anyway, she was apparently expecting me to be selfless and let her use my nice keyboard while I use the Amazon keyboard. She was upset that I didn't value her enough to lend her my nice possessions and left her with the cheap $10 keyboard. Her words. She said if the situation was reversed, she'd lend me the nice keyboard. I explained to her that I have my keyboard specifically set up for work, and because I'm so used to it, it would hinder my ability to do work if I didn't have it. Marsco said this is such a non-issue, and I agree, but here's what I will say. This fucking mouse that I have right here, this is my fucking baby, bro. The buttons on the side here make editing, I shit you guys not, probably speeds up my editing 4 times faster than it would be if I was just using a regular mouse and keyboard, because it allows me to make edits without moving this hand from the buttons that I need to keep it on. I love this mouse so much. They discontinued this mouse in America, but it still exists in Japan. So I went on eBay and ordered it from Japan via eBay. And I have it on my standing desk in my dining room, and I take it on trips with me. That's how much I fucking love this mouse. If a girl tried to be like, oh, I deserve this mouse over you, I'd be like, hell fucking no, bro. I'm sorry. If you want a really nice keyboard, buy one. Hey, maybe that'll be your next birthday present, whatever. But like, it seems so weird. Like, it just seems like something where it's like important enough to OP where it makes 0 sense for her to use it over him. Like, it's not like he's handing over like a disgusting, terrible keyboard. He's handing her something that will allow her to work her 2013 Lenovo laptop, which, by the way, y'all, in 2019, that's an old ass laptop. No fucking keyboard is gonna make that thing work any better. It's probably just like a brick at this point. We continued to argue about it. Things really came to a head when she boldly claimed that if I wasn't willing to lend her my nice keyboard, that I should have bought her a nice new keyboard if I really cared about her. This is when I got really mad. I told her she was acting like an entitled, spoiled child, and that she should have been grateful that I went out of my way in the first place to grab her the Amazon keyboard. Bro, put her in her fucking place. Yeah, bro, she is acting like an entitled, spoiled child. On some fucking only child syndrome for real, for real. She started crying and asked me to go home. I left, but I still gave her the Amazon keyboard to use. I was far more upset at the principle of the situation than the keyboard itself. So now she's calling me an a-hole for both not giving her my keyboard and because I called her spoiled. We're going to meet up tomorrow to talk about this in person because I refuse to continue this silly argument over text. I'm thinking about ending things with her as I feel like this is her showing me her true colors. This is such a dumb thing, but also over a long period of time, I also see myself getting sick of something like this. Girl, he brought you a fucking keyboard that, by the way, guys, it probably works for her purposes exactly like his nice keyboard would. It's just such a non-issue. Like, when it comes to dating, there are people who are gonna compliment your life and people who are gonna complicate your life. And y'all could probably guess the people that complicate your life, in my opinion, are not the ones you want to date, okay? If somebody's walking around town and everything that you do, you feel like, oh, I could do something that I think is normal, but they have unrealistic expectations that make this harder for me, it's not worth dating them. Especially too, by the way, guys, I don't know if you caught this. They've been dating for 4.5 months. If this were like maybe a 4.5 year relationship, I would be like, all right, if she hasn't exhibited this behavior before, might be a one-off, whatever. You work through it. Maybe you go to couples therapy or whatever. Bro, 4.5 months, just dippity-doo-dah out of there, man. I think what he said is true. Like, she's showing him her true colors right now. You know what I'm thinking, y'all? This is me just like coming up with shit out of my ass. But what it feels like to me is she's seeing how much she can control OP. Like, how much can she convince him that, oh, you need to go above and beyond to do nice things for me because that's just what you need to do. Because it literally makes zero sense for her to be using an $120 keyboard. Like, listen, it didn't say what she was using the computer for, but I doubt with a Lenovo 2013 laptop that the keyboard doesn't even work. You're probably not using it for insane things. You're probably using that shit to like look up YouTube videos, maybe play a little bit of Sims or something. Like, nothing that requires a nice keyboard. To be honest, y'all, before I had this keyboard, I used a fucking Dell keyboard that I got from Goodwill for $5. I had that shit for years. Old, reliable. Razer's misogynistic? Why are they misogynistic? That's good, though. I don't think I have any Razer products now that I think about it. No. Yeah, I don't think I have any Razer products, chat. I've heard their products are pretty dog shit. They make their own version of this. When I was researching, because I wanted another one of these for like traveling, when I did my research, everybody was like, yo, the Razer version of that mouse dies in like 2 years. I've had this mouse, y'all, since 2018, and it's still going strong, chat. They did a big ad on noise canceling your girlfriend and blocked comments on anyone calling it out. Bro, that's crazy. Bro, I bet the Republicans loved that one. The motherfuckers talking about the old ball and chain were like, hell yeah, let me get a Razer headphone. Also, she never communicated her expectations and expected OP to read her mind. That's actually such a good point too. Relevant comments. First person said, you are honestly 100% right. She's acting like a spoiled child. Beggars can't be choosers. That's actually such a good point as well. Like, bro, if you want a fancy keyboard, go get it yourself. Otherwise, get what you get and you don't throw a fit. She wants your nice keyboard. She can buy one herself. Better yet, she can buck up and save up for a new laptop. I don't blame you at all for feeling angry. I think you should attempt to talk through it before you decide to break up with her, but it is definitely a red flag that she's acting this way. Another comment said, I think you got it right when you said she was a spoiled brat. She should have been grateful that you came over with a keyboard, any kind of keyboard. Maybe she should take her own advice and be a little selfless. I would pose a question to you. If you two are fighting over a keyboard, what will happen with an issue that is a bit more serious comes up? Good luck with your talk. I have a feeling you're going to need it. Ooh, and then somebody left a comment with some advice that I actually really like. Never marry someone until you've seen how they act on a really bad day. I think what should also be added to that is see how they act on a really bad day and what they do after that really bad day. Because I truly believe, y'all, there are some humans who have bad days and do the wrong thing and maybe take it out on their spouse. But if they're willing to like take accountability for it and take steps to change change that. I actually do think it's someone to keep around, but also maybe not even 4.5 months, you know? Like, that's something where it's like you've been dating them for years and they just do something stupid. But I really like this, bro. Some people also don't understand that, like, what they do on their good days is not as meaningful as what they do on their bad days. Also, see how they handle anger. I think that's so important too. OP added a quick little edit here right before the update. Edit, she texted me asking to meet up tonight instead of tomorrow as she is feeling anxious and stressed about the situation. I will give everyone an update later tonight or tomorrow morning. I also wanted to clarify that she's never acted like this before, although admittedly we haven't been together for very long. Yeah, bro, she had that mask on for the first 4.5 months. This is how she actually is. Some of you suggested that maybe I'm not making her feel valued, and the situation is a symptom of that. While I think I both show and tell her that she's valued in different ways, this may be something I bring up with her. It, of course, doesn't forgive her behavior, but may explain some of it. Cheers. Even if this was the case, by the way, and like OP for some reason isn't making her feel valued, this is not the way you bring that up. Like, yeah, if you're not feeling valued in a relationship, you should feel valued, but you also need to take the initiative to bring that up with your partner, not when it like happens, but then also not in a situation where you have no ground to stand on. OP actually did give her a reason to feel valued. It said that OP went out of his way after work to stop by home to get her this keyboard. Like, he didn't have to do that. That was a nice thing for him to do. I think if you're a normal person, you're looking at that and being like, that is something that someone does when they care about someone. My old ex-mother-in-law said, don't marry anyone until you've traveled together, built furniture together, and seen them on their worst day. Agreed. That's why I'm not a big fan, bro, because sometimes 2 years to encompass all that is not long enough. Update, May 20th, 2019, the next day. We met earlier tonight and sat down to talk. I was somewhat prepared to end things with her, so I suggested we meet at her place so that I could bail if things went south, and they did. Even though I thought I made my post as anonymous as possible, one of my girlfriend's coworkers figured out who the post was about. In parentheses, girlfriend's age, working at HR, which I mentioned in a comment, some computer problems, dating a programmer, etc. And sent it to my girlfriend. The reason she wanted to meet early was because she was furious that I had made the post airing our dirty laundry. In a sense, I guess she was right because at least one person had figured it out. My girlfriend never used Reddit, so I figured I was safe. There's a strong chance she'll read this one as well, LOL. Anyway, she immediately began berating me, telling me that I made her look bad in the post and lied about the details of our argument to get people on my side. I asked her to point out any part of it that wasn't true or where I had lied. Long story short, she couldn't point to a single thing. I definitely raised my voice when I told her that if she looked bad, it's only because of her actions. I told her I only made the post to get some perspective on the matter. The post was 100% accurate and she knew it. She began to tear up and asked me if I really was considering leaving her over the keyboard. I asked her if she understood that this wasn't about the keyboard. It was about the way she acted towards me when I was trying to do her a favor. She stayed silent and didn't answer. I asked her what prompted this outburst, if everything was okay with her. I asked if anything had happened with her friends, parents, or at work that was upsetting her and may have led to this. So you're telling me she saw the post, read all the comments, and still berated you, accused you of lying, and at the end of all of it, still wasn't able to put together that it wasn't just about the keyboard? That just sounds like an incredibly not self-aware person, and that's not someone you want to be with. Like, if somebody can't parse out their emotions or look at all the facts of a situation, there's no way living with them isn't going to be hell. OP is being way too considerate now. No, I agree with you, Shan. Way too considerate. She got really defensive, asking, "Are you calling me crazy?" And "Do you think I'm unstable?" I had no idea where she was going with this. I told her I wasn't calling her crazy, but that she had to understand that I was quite confused about how she was acting and that there had to be a reason for it. We talked in circles for a bit and I tried to pry it out of her. I still don't know what caused all of this because she simply wouldn't tell me. When I realized our conversation was going nowhere, I finally asked her if we were going to have an adult conversation or if this was the hill she was willing to let the relationship die on. She asked, "What do you want from me?" And I said, "I want an apology." I'm getting tired of typing, so I'll wrap this up quickly. She was absolutely unwilling to apologize. She thought that my betrayal of posting this was far worse than her initial behavior was. She talked for about 5 more minutes before I told her that I don't even care anymore. I told her that this whole thing was exhausting as she wasn't willing to help us get to the bottom of this, that we should just break up. I didn't waste any time making my way to the door. Bro, this is crazy because this actually reminds me of a situation I had with a girl. Like, this girl was treating me like shit. I called her out on it and she couldn't even muster up an apology to me. She just kept making excuses on why she was treating me like shit. I ended up leaving her on red, bro. I was like, I can't fucking deal with you. At a certain point, I think it just all comes down to like, there are people in this world that just like can't see that what they're doing is wrong because in their head, they're right. As I was leaving, she asked if I wanted the keyboard back. She didn't ask to be nice. She was definitely trying to get on my nerves. I could tell by her tone of voice. I told her she could keep it as long as she promised never to call or text me again. As a fire response. I've been getting tons of not so nice messages from her friends, which finally prompted me to delete my Facebook. If you're dating somebody who them and their friends use Facebook, that's an immediate red flag. Unless you're like a creator like me making money off that shit, being on Facebook is such a red flag. Also, I've never understood deleting the Facebook. Do y'all not know about the block button? Try me, chat. One of my fucking ex's friends and family are DMing me mean things. I would hit the block so fast. I'm so unbothered. I don't give a fuck. She obviously told her friends some false version of the story, which made it seem like I really did leave her over the keyboard. I couldn't care less, as I'll never be seeing any of them again. We only dated for around 4 months, so in the end, I don't feel terribly heartbroken. Mostly just relief that it's over, but also confusion. Still have no idea why she acted out. And to the people who had some unkind words towards me because I use a Razer keyboard, pound sand dorks, I like what I like. Listen, chat, all I'm saying is my keyboard is so much better, it's cheaper, and it's not from apparently a misogynistic company. At least as far as I know. Shout out the Ayula keyboard. Link in the description of my live streams. No, I love this fucking keyboard. Oh, there is also a very short edit here. She called earlier today and was very apologetic. My assumption is that she saw this post and read all the comments detailing how I was right for leaving her, among other things. I told her that she had her chance to apologize. Yeah, bro, that's not someone you want to be with. You don't want somebody who you're gonna have to fucking put them through the ringer for them to actually apologize for their actions. There is a top comment on here. I saw a comment on Reddit a while back that asked why so many relationships fail at approximately the 3-month point, and someone, in parentheses, no, I'm not going to spend 20+ minutes Googling to give credit to the person, replied that they'd once been told it was because it was really hard for people to continue pretending to be someone they weren't for much longer than 3 months. I think maybe this applies to your situation. No, bro, exactly. After the 3-month mark, people's masks usually fall off. I'm moving out tomorrow. Husband doesn't know. I found out that he's having an affair. So this post is really short, but there's an update 3 years later. That's why it's kind of popular. So it was posted in r/true off my chest on August 31st, 2022. And the only thing that they put on this post is when I found out about the affair, it devastated me. I'll be gone tomorrow when he gets home from work and he has no idea it's coming. That's it. That's the entire post, but the update's a lot longer. I'm not gonna lie, there's not really much to react to on this. Yeah, that sucks, but give us the tea, girl. Like, how'd you find out? Hopefully that's included in the update October 1st, 2025, over 3 years later. My update is not exciting, but I, 39 female, did receive some supportive comments, so I wanted to post one more time. Truthfully, I forgot about my first post until I tried to make an account for something else and got a message that my email address was already used for an account. My update is that I'm now divorced. It has been a month since my divorce became final. Holy shit. It took 3 years for your divorce to be finalized. Chad, that's my worst nightmare. I moved out while my ex-husband, male 39, was at work the day after I wrote my first post. In my country, you have to be separated for 1 year before you can get a divorce. Damn. Then my ex-husband dragged the process out for 2 years because he didn't want a divorce, even though he was the one having an affair with a colleague. I moved out because my ex-husband inherited our home before we met, so I wouldn't have any right to it in the divorce. I had to leave. I haven't seen or talked to my ex-husband since I moved out, and I don't plan to ever again. During the divorce process, my lawyer communicated with his, even though my ex-husband wanted to see me and explain. I didn't care to confront him about the affair, get any details, or hear whatever explanation he was going to give. Divorce is only no fault, so the affair made no difference during the divorce process anyways. Does anyone know what that means? I genuinely don't. I think it means nobody's at fault for the divorce, no fault, so it's essentially an even split. What? No fault divorce makes it amicable and mutual. The fuck? That's crazy, girl. You probably could have come for his throat, although I don't know how it works in other countries. We'd been married for 10 years when I left, but he broke my heart and I don't need to see or talk to him again. I have a life without him. That's my update, as boring as it was. If you left a supportive comment, thank you for doing that. I mean, cool. I'm a little shocked that this made it in the top 15. Like, this is not that interesting of a post to me. Like, girl, where's the tea? How'd you find out? What's the juice? This just felt matter of fact. Give me stuff to react to, bro. Not really much to say about that one.